Hello. We're going to carry on with Chapter 3 of the Penderwicks in Spring. Chapter 3, A Rock and Bach. Ben proudly managed his own bath time, from running the water all the way through the final rinse. It was a new responsibility, and one that he treasured. His friend, Raphael, not yet trusted with filling bathtubs, there had once been a flood, envied Ben greatly and repeatedly begged his mother to follow the Penderwick parents' example. Now that Ben was old enough to bathe alone, he considered himself old enough to expect privacy while he did so. Most particularly from Lydia, who wasn't supposed to roam free through the house, but could give almost anyone the slip. Their father made a joke of it, calling Lydia the great getaway artist, and saying that she should go into bank robbery when she grew up. Ben didn't think it was funny, especially when he was in a bathroom with no lock on the door. He compensated by setting up an early warning system, a hanger leaning against the door. This was most important for those bath times when he had something to hide, not just from Lydia, but from anyone who thought he shouldn't take rocks into the bathtub with him, which was just about everybody in the family. This evening, with his early warning system in place and his filthy clothes off and stuffed into the hamper, he stepped into the tub, carefully clutching the one rock he'd found that had extra exciting possibilities. Whitish gray with darker gray speckles, it was shaped like a big egg. Ben cleaned it with the special toothbrush he kept just for rocks, then rinsed it off under the spigot, turned it round and round. What's the spigot? A spigot is where the water comes out of your faucet. Maybe, he thought, just maybe, it had once been an actual egg. Raphael talked about fossilized dinosaur eggs that had been discovered in Mongolia. But that didn't mean some couldn't be found in Massachusetts too, because Massachusetts had been roamed by dinosaurs too, right? Ben wrapped the rock in a washcloth and set it gently on the bathtub ledge. He'd be the luckiest boy ever if it turned out to be a dinosaur egg. He'd be on television, and scientists from around the world would visit and ask if he would let them touch it. Or he could sell it to a museum for a whole lot of money, like $1 billion. With $1 billion, he could buy his parents a car to replace the dead one. A small noise caught his attention. Someone was slowly and stealthily turning the doorknob. Lydia! With a great splash, Ben leapt out of the tub just as his warning hanger tipped over. He shoved the door shut again and leaned on it with all his might. "You can't come in." "Yes, inside." "No, never. Go away." This time Lydia didn't reply, but Ben stayed by the door, suspecting she wouldn't give up so easily. He was right. A moment later, the sound of huffing and puffing came rising up from the vicinity of his feet. He crouched down and looked under the door. One bright and hopeful eye gazed back at him. "Lydia loves Ben." He grabbed his towel and stuffed it against the crack under the door, blocking out that eye. "Ben! Ben!" cried Lydia in heartbreaking tones. He took the rest of the towels from the racks and piled them on top of the first towel and was about to shove the hamper on top of all that when he heard extra footsteps and scuffling. "She's bothering me again," he shouted to whichever Penderwick was out there. "It's okay, I've got her," Jane answered from the other side of the door. Then came the sounds of Lydia being unwillingly borne away. Relieved and cold from all that standing around, Ben went back to his bath and to spending the money he'd get from his dinosaur egg. 2 cars for his parents would be even better. And after that, there should be enough money left to buy a movie studio because he and Raphael wanted to make science fiction movies. And when Batty was finally ready for a new dog, which Ben hoped would be soon, Ben would get a dog. No, 100 dogs. Because only 100 could start to make up for Hound, the greatest dog who ever lived. And he and Raphael would train the 100 dogs to work on movie sets in case they needed alien dogs in their science fiction movies. When Ben was as clean as he was likely to get, can you please stay upstairs without bothering me? Is that even feasibly possible for you?
I have a question.
You don't need to ask me. You asked me this one question. I don't want you to come down here at all until I come upstairs. I have to start over now. Do not come down those steps again. What did I just say?
What if I need to do a chore down here?
You're not coming down here until I'm done with this book.
What book?
I'm going to read one chapter of this book. It should only take me 20 minutes. Can you leave me alone for a whole fat 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Good. What was your question?
I need help hanging that really heavy thing up.
I'll get it later. I'm not going to do it now.